Shmai everyone, how are you all? Well, I'm back tonight with I'm doing a bridge fold card. This is my original here, and I use Dino Days, and if you notice it's got two sections to it, so it's got like a background piece as well. I watched a fantastic video by the wonderful Jennifer Maguire, if you look and see where I had my inspiration from, and I stenciled the background with a bit of a cloud shape, and once again I used the framelits to cut out the designer paper to cut out the little dinosaurs there. And then I thought I would give it a try using my favourite bundle from the new catalogue, Sailing Home, because I pictured having the lighthouse in the background with the sailing ships going by. So for this you will need a piece of thicker cardstock. So I've got the thicker Whisper White, and it's actually 4 1/4 by 8 inches. The first thing I'm going to do is I have cut myself a wave stencil using my silhouette, and I'm going to use one of these new brushes. It's actually it's a makeup brush that I had off Amazon. I think there's something like 10 for £8 or something. They're very similar to the, I think they call them life-changing brushes or something, from Picket Fence, I think Jennifer Maguire said they're from, but they're about £50, so I went for the cheaper option, which are makeup brushes. So I'm just going to lay my stencil, and I'm using, now this is actually stencil material that you can cut on your silhouette, but it is quite flimsy, so it's not going to give a perfectly crisp thing. I just wanted to give the impression of waves. Let's see, is it working? Yeah, it is okay. I'll put it sort of roughly back in place. So what I'm actually doing, rather than rubbing round and around, I think I'm just going to swipe it across like this, just to give it a little bit of extra detail in the background. So as I say, this stencil material you can buy for your silhouette. It's good for if you want to do like a stencil that you won't use very often, if you see what I mean, because I do find the material quite flimsy. You could probably have the same effect if you used a bit of thick cardstock. So once again, just swiping it across. Also though, this design is particularly it's quite thin, so it probably isn't going to give the same effect. And perhaps I should have practiced this off screen, but I thought let's just go for it. That doesn't always work for me, I must be honest. So let's try and line up roughly where it is. It looks like a particularly stormy sea for me. But I'm going to try, it's going to be really weird now, I'm trying to use my right hand for this. Apologies for the complete awkwardness that you'll see now. Okay, so that's that part. So it does give a little bit of a wave effect, and I'm actually using Seaside Spray. And then this is going to be the actual bridge part, which is 5 1/2 inches long by 1 1/4. I'm just going to add it to that as well. And then once again swap to make it look really awkward with my right hand. The nice thing about these brushes, depending on the sort of effect you want, you can either sort of push them down really firmly with your finger on the back because they've got a slightly flexible neck, or if you wanted a gentler sort of one, you just leave them, don't press down, but as soon as you press down then you're applying more ink more firmly, if that makes sense. Gina K Design demonstrates them really well, but as I say, pick them up cheap then on Amazon instead. So I'm bringing my scoreboard, and I'm actually going to score it at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. And then what you need to do then is flip your piece of card around and do it exactly the same. So it's 1 1/4 by 2.5, like that. And then using your bone folder, because obviously you are using thicker cardstock here as well, fold it all in, and then this one on this side, and the same on this side then. So make sure you've lined it up at the bottom. I did a beautiful crease in something the other day, then realised I didn't have that piece of card straight anyway. So to start again. Right, so there is the actual base of the card. So it stands like that. Now, the other thing that Jennifer Maguire did, which I think I'll do, is she's had a little note, like a little note card, the same sort of size as this, that you can then do all your sentiment in then. So as you can see, I've stamped out my sailing boats and my little sailing, my little lighthouse. So what I want is, for now, I'm just going to use 2 paper clips to put this where I want it to be. Like this. Just so it'll give me a rough idea of where my lighthouse needs to be. So my lighthouse, just tip it that side for you to see. I want it poking up out of the waves. Ah, that'd be handy, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be much good if it was under the waves. Right, there we go. I'm just going to use some dimensionals on the back. To be honest, this is a really quick and simple card to make. So it's right up my street. There we go. I'm just going to have to just pick it up. So I want to see it above. That's it. There we go. So that's how that's looking. So when it's hard to show you what it looked like when it's sort of standing up. So then I'm going to use some Tombow, and I'm going to it's best to do this. Now apply it on here, and then this is where the paper clips come in really handy, because you can hold it for a bit, apply your paper clip, and it'll keep it in place then till the glue dries a bit. And also it helps you to line up your other side. So as you can see on my Dino Raw one, it's got another little piece as well on it. So you simply cut a piece that fits in there exactly, but that you've got a little, well, no, actually, you need a piece that's about half an inch bigger. So then you can use 1/4 of the cardstock each side to make a little score line. So you can make a little fold. I'm explaining this really badly, I'm sorry. As I say, if you watch Jennifer's video, demonstrated perfectly. So this piece here has got 2 little side flaps, which are then stuck on the side. And the good thing about this card is it then folds flat like this to go in your envelope. And then the recipient just needs to wiggle it around a bit to get it in the right place. So now that's all I'm going to do, is I'm going to add my little sailing boats. Obviously, once the glue has been on there for a bit, you can take your paper clips off just in case you leave them on there as an added feature. So I've got 5 little sailing ships. I'm sure there's a nursery rhyme or something for that, but you're very lucky because I don't know it. There we go. And just decorate the rest of the card then. I'm just going to tuck this one slightly behind there. Peel this one off then, and do the same thing on this side. Actually, one might, what I think I will do is I will stick this one in the background here. Ha! Because I think it'd be a bit too busy otherwise. Like that. If I stick that one in there. And then I will put these two just across the front. So when you see it, then you see the navy one in the middle. So I think I'll stick this one down with glue. I'll stick this one down with glue because I put the glue too high up. And then this one I will raise up on glue dots. Remember, not glue dots, dimensional, sorry, remembering to keep it on the bottom. There we go. I want to just so you can see that other one poking through. And there it is. Just a really delicate but simple bridge fold card using Stampin' Up Sailing Home. And that's what it looks like when it's sort of stood up. You can also stamp a sentiment you could have across the bottom. And then you fold it down flat to go on your card. And then when the recipient receives it, if you just make sure, if you move it around a bit just to make sure that everything is stuck perfectly well and that your fold lines are working. And there it is. So, as I say, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping now, well, actually, no, it's chaotic at the end of the year. In 4 weeks' time, I've got 6 weeks on my hands then, and I'm hoping to do a week series of making some Christmas cards. I'm thinking Christmas cards in August. Now, at that point, you might be throwing things at your screen, but what I tend to do is leave my Christmas cards the very last minute every year, so I'm hoping to get a bit of an earlier start on them this year. So, thank you so much. Huge welcome to all my new subscribers. I really do appreciate all your lovely comments, and I shall see you soon. Thank you. Hwyl fawr. Take care. Bye.